Depository, Depository, the DAO CSD, and as a former central banker, I'm happy to be back home, but more importantly, to increase the diversity of the products that are going to enrich our market. The central banks in all emerging and frontier markets like Kenya are currently faced with significant headwinds arising from monetary policy tightening, especially in advanced economies, and more so the challenges that are posed by the supply-side shocks that have hit the economy for so many years now, accounting 4 years, especially starting with the drought last year and also the subsequent supply shocks. These supply-side shocks marked a very difficult season for central banks, given their mandate is to ensure price stability, but pressures from the supply side do require more than bringing the supplies back into the market, whereas the central bank use the demand side tools. But I'm happy to note that given the interventions the central bank and the government have implemented, the Kenya sharing, the exchange rate is now stabilizing, and the Monetary Policy Committee has also taken measures to address inflation. This, together with measures implemented by the government to support increased agricultural output, have resulted into a decline in inflation to 6.7% from a high of 9.6%, as the governor mentioned. And we do expect this to be a declining trend on inflation, especially as we continue to see food supply coming back into the market, and even productivity and production increases in our farms, in our smallholder farms, and even larger farms. The global developments have drastically worsened the external financing conditions, and this has limited Kenya's access to external borrowing and even affected the domestic debt market liquidity. For this reason, the domestic borrowing targets, for example, for the financial year 2022-2023, was met with a lot of difficulties. But it's also a lesson for us so that we can come up with innovative solutions that can address the situations or even conditions as they arise. Consequently, for me, the rollout, and for the government, the rollout of the DAO CSD by the Central Bank of Kenya is a great milestone, as it will not only enhance the operational efficiency of the government domestic debt program, but also support the deepening of the domestic capital market. The launch of this system marks a major step in the government's efforts to promote local savings and investment. Allow me, Your Excellency, to once again congratulate the Central Bank for delivering a state-of-the-art system that conforms to the international best standards, but also in addition allows us to join some of the line products that have been produced at a very, very micro level, and we do believe that a combination of these mid-row and also micro level products is going to be quite productive for us and quite satisfying for us. Allow me also to recognize the role played by the World Bank, the National Bank of Georgia, and the market stakeholders in Kenya, commercial banks, investment banks, CMA, Nairobi Securities Exchange, KRA, and even IRA. Their input in the project has been invaluable. I also wish to acknowledge my colleagues from the National Treasury for their role in this important milestone. They are the most people who complain when domestic borrowing, or that is the market of public debt, does not work well because it affects them directly. So we have a stake here, and that stake is very, very important so that we take up any responsibility in future to make sure that we improve on this diversity of products that are flexible to the borrower, but they are also flexible in terms of providing the resources that we require. So this is your day, Your Excellency, to launch this product. So for me, it gives me a lot of pleasure and even singular honor to actually invite you to come and preside over this event, Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. CS National Treasury, CS Trade, my good friend, the governor of the Central Bank. I was asking him outside here who the governor of Central Bank is. And because he used to work for me on the other side until I lost him. Deputy Governor, distinguished friends, good afternoon. Occasions like this are very critical, not just because of the specific event we are here for, but also for the opportunity it affords us to remind one another of what we have set out to do and why we take the trouble to do it. And that is to review progress, achievements, and to reinforce our commitment to the journey of national transformation for the socio-economic advancement of all the people of our country. One of the fundamental commitments we made to the people of Kenya is to enlist every Kenyan in the task of nation building by opening up opportunities for citizens in their millions across the country to pursue engagements that enrich their lives and bring them closer to their aspirations by two primary means. The first one is to remove all the structural barriers to the contribution of the majority of our people and eliminate systemic obstacles to their participation at any level in all sectors. This is out of the realization that Kenyans are not only capable of meeting their needs and creating wealth through hard work, but they also aspire to contribute to the baking of a national cake large enough to feed all of us instead of just waiting for morsels distributed through sometimes adversarial, competitive, and untimely, and sometimes acrimonious political mechanisms, as we all know. The second is to facilitate millions of Kenyans to participate and make their contribution through innovative and transformative policies, programs, and projects that facilitate access to opportunity and to the means of turning these opportunities into incomes as a path to improve well-being and create wealth through savings and investments. And as I said yesterday, when I was somewhere in Meru, that the responsibility of nation building is first and foremost the collective responsibility of all of us as Kenyans. Each and every one of us, we need to ask ourselves the job of building Kenya. What is my contribution? Whatever it is, however small, however big, how am I making a contribution towards the nation that I belong to? Citizen of Kenya. And as we take the realization that it is our responsibility, first and foremost, and it is us who are going to build the country. And because it is us who are going to build the country, it is our effort, our energy, our sweat, our assets, our wealth that is going to build this country. And it is the reason why I have undertaken that this great effort by every Kenyan, their energy, their expertise, their resources, their contribution in whatever manner must be protected from the people who want to abuse it. That commitment to the people of Kenya to make sure that their resources are looked after and they are not lost through wastage or theft or corruption or any manner of loss of public resources. Through the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we have established various mechanisms to implement the commitments I have said. They include the implementation of large-scale employment creation programs in various sectors, including agriculture, housing, and the MSME ecosystem, or hustler economy, the digitization and automation of government services, promotion of the participation of youth and women, creation of financial mechanisms to enhance inclusion, and the provision of infrastructure that promotes access to digital technologies. At the foundation of these interventions is the principle that our economic system must be refined through transformation into an environment of opportunities and a tide that lifts all boats regardless of size, speed, shape, purpose, or build. In this context, this event is very significant. We are here to launch a very special boat set to sail into an operating environment transforming under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is appropriate that the boat we launch on this occasion represents the intersection of fundamental components of our transformative agenda. First of all, the Central Securities Depository, CSD as it's called, has been automated and digitized to enhance its security and to enable it to serve investors faster and much more efficiently. Additionally, the CSD Investor Portal and the M-Akiba digital application have freed up access to the opportunity to invest and trade in government securities, enabling people of all walks of life to participate in the securities market, thereby facilitating a bottom-up growth of the sector, as has been explained by the many people who I saw in that little presentation state. Thirdly, the use of technology to enhance security, efficiency, transparency, and inclusion is a constant theme in the implementation of our programs, as you may well have seen from making sure that we digitize all government services